Sunlight fights through the grimy blinds, casting shadows across Kim's cluttered apartment. Kim, mid-20 seconds, still in pajamas, stirs awake amidst the chaos of her messy room. A groan escapes her lips as she reluctantly greets the morning light. The untidy state of her apartment mirrors the turmoil within. A new day begins, weighed down by the disarray surrounding her. Alarm blares, kettle whistles, phone buzzes. Kim rises from bed, a chaotic mess of hair framing her sleepy eyes. She shuffles towards the kettle, tripping over a pile of clothes, a comical start to a Monday morning. Ugh, Monday, the sequel nobody asked for. Kim groans, her voice thick with sleep and morning dread. Disaster strikes as coffee spills down her shirt. Great, now I smell like a burnt cappuccino, she laments. Kim bursts into her apartment, a whirlwind of nervous energy as she rushes towards the closet. She grabs a blouse, pulling it off the hanger with frantic haste. A button pops off, bouncing away as Kim's frustration boils over. Fine, who needs buttons anyway? It's called fashion despair, Kim exclaims, her voice laced with sarcasm. Kim muttering, "Oh no, the soundtrack of my misery." Kim bursts from her apartment, late, a whirlwind of frantic energy against the mundane morning. The street scene unfolds with the chaos of urban life, a stark contrast to Kim's inner turmoil. The wind snatches at her umbrella, flipping it inside out, a sudden burst of comical frustration. The broken umbrella becomes a symbol of her morning's disarray, a minor catastrophe. She struggles with the umbrella, a battle against the elements mirroring her internal conflicts. Despite the chaos, a flicker of determination remains in her eyes as she presses onward. Rain-slicked puddles reflect the gray sky on a common street. Kim sprints down the sidewalk, her face etched with frustration. A neighbor calls out, "Morning, Kim. You dropped your lunch." Kim doesn't slow, shouting back in response. "Keep it, it's cursed," Kim yells. Kim stands alone on the deserted street, an isolated figure against the dark canvas of night. Her voice breaks the silence, echoing through the empty space, a raw plea sent into the void. "Universe, whatever I did, I'm sorry," she cries, her words carrying a weight of regret and desperation. The night seems to hold its breath, awaiting a response to her heartfelt apology. Kim arrives at Glamocorp, leaving a trail of water in her wake. The office is a monument to modern design. Sleek lines, chrome, and an unsettling sterility. Water streams from Kim's soaked hair, defying the pristine environment. A small puddle blossoms on the polished floor, a stark contrast to the ordered space. Kim's drenched figure stands as a disruption in Glamocorp's glossy facade. Kim hesitantly enters her boss's austere office, the air heavy with unspoken tension. Her boss's stern gaze cuts through the silence. "Kim, you're late." "Again," the boss says, his voice a low, dangerous rumble. Kim stammers, attempting an explanation. "Traffic was..." "Unacceptable," the boss interrupts, his words sharp and final. A cold command hangs in the air. "Pack your desk." Kim stares into the void, her face etched with shock and resignation. Her eyes scan the stark, barren landscape of her cubicle. Gently, she lifts a tiny cactus, its vibrant green a defiant spark. A faint, rueful smile plays on her lips. "Okay, maybe I deserved that." She clutches the cactus, a silent, sardonic promise. "At least one of us thrives on neglect." Kim steps out of the elevator, a cardboard box clutched in her arms, filled with a life now packed away. Each step she takes echoes with finality, resonating through the sterile space. The weight of the box mirrors the emotional burden she carries, etched in her weary gaze. Metal grinds against metal as the elevator doors begin to close, a mechanical farewell. The doors seal shut, a dramatic end to this chapter, leaving her silhouetted against the closing light. Kim sits alone at a small table, bathed in the stark morning light of the cafe. Before her sits a lone cheap muffin, its paper peeling slightly at the edges. Next to the muffin, a cup of coffee sits, the surface gone cold and still. The scene is heavy with the weight of solitude and quiet desperation. Kim stares into the coffee, lost in thought, her face etched with worry. Kim sits alone in the bustling cafe, her figure framed by the soft glow of the ambient light. Lost in thought, she stirs her coffee, the swirling liquid mirroring the turmoil in her mind. A wry smile touches her lips, a mask for the disappointment lurking beneath. She mutters under her breath, the words barely audible above the cafe's hum. Fired, single, and still allergic to optimism, she says, each word laced with irony. Her gaze hardens, a spark of defiance igniting in her eyes. Perfect resume. The cafe buzzes. The rich aroma of coffee fills the air. A small, unexpected guest. A monkey hops onto a chair. Its matted fur and visible ribs betray hunger. A worn collar tag hints at a desperate search for its home. Inside the bustling cafe, Kim stands frozen at the counter, eyes wide with disbelief. A monkey scampers amidst the tables, causing a stir among the patrons. Kim stammers, pointing, "Whoa, sir? There's a monkey in your cafe." The barista, wiping down the counter, replies nonchalantly, "Not my department." In the bustling cafe, a mischievous monkey suddenly appears, a tiny agent of chaos amidst the calm. With lightning speed, the monkey darts across the table, its eyes gleaming with playful intent. The unsuspecting muffin, Kim's beloved treat, becomes the target of the monkey's daring raid. In a swift, comical snatch, the muffin is gone, whisked away by the nimble primate. Kim's eyes widen in disbelief, her serene cafe moment shattered by the unexpected theft. "Hey, that's my emotional support muffin!" Kim cries out, her voice a mix of shock and playful indignation. Boba sits alone at a small table in the bustling cafe. Before her, a half-eaten pastry hints at fleeting enjoyment. She stares thoughtfully at the pastry. Boba sighs, a hint of dissatisfaction in her eyes. Needs more banana," she murmurs, a playful complaint. In the bustling cafe, the rich aroma of coffee mixes with hushed conversation as Kim stares, eyes wide with disbelief. Kim's voice trembles slightly as she asks, "Did you just talk?" Boba's response cuts through the cafe's ambiance, a sharp retort tinged with sarcasm. Define. Inside the bustling cafe, Kim stares, utterly speechless, her eyes wide with surprise. A hesitant smile touches her lips, a flicker of warmth breaking through. Then, a genuine laugh bursts forth, the first all day, echoing softly in the room. The sound fills the space, casting a new, brighter light on her face. Kim exits the bustling cafe, sunlight catching her hair as she steps onto the busy street. A small, furry figure darts out after her. Boba, the monkey, determined to keep up. Boba hops playfully behind Kim, his eyes bright with mischief and affection. The sounds of the city blend with the quick, soft patter of Boba's paws on the pavement. Kim continues her walk, unaware of the tiny, loyal companion trailing close behind. On a nondescript street, Kim stands, a weariness etched into every line of their posture. Facing Kim, Boba exudes a surprising defiance despite their small stature. Kim's voice is heavy with exhaustion. "Go home, little thief." Boba's reply is sharp and immediate. "Don't have one." A flicker of empathy crosses Kim's face, a shared solitude recognized. Kim admits with a sigh, "Me neither, kind of." She sighs, a plume of breath visible in the cold air, and continues her walk, each step measured and deliberate. He persists, his figure a constant shadow trailing behind, undeterred by her weary pace. Kim's voice breaks the silence, tinged with a mix of disbelief and resignation. "You're seriously not leaving, are you?" Boba's reply hangs in the air. "Free banana policy if I stay?" The street stretches on, their figures diminishing against the urban backdrop, their conversation echoing in the empty space. Amidst the chaos of a busy street, Kim and Boba face each other, their expressions a stark contrast to the hurried passers-by. Cars blur past as Kim sets a stern condition. "Fine, but only till tomorrow." Boba responds with a hint of cynicism, a shadow of past experiences coloring his tone. "That's what all my ex-owners said." The city's relentless rhythm underscores the delicate balance of their exchange, a pivotal moment unfolding in plain sight. An awkward silence hangs between them on the street. A hesitant glance is exchanged. Suddenly, a shared laugh breaks the tension. Thunder rumbles, echoing their newfound ease. Inside her cozy apartment, Kim delicately arranges a tiny blanket on the couch. The soft fabric contrasts with the worn texture of the couch, hinting at a story. a gentle act of care imbued with a quiet, unspoken tenderness. The simple gesture hints at a narrative of love, loss, or anticipation. Kim gestures wildly in her cozy apartment, her words echoing off the walls. Boba, the small monkey, watches Kim with amusement, curled comfortably on a cushion. Kim insists, her voice rising. "This is not adoption, it's temporary monkey housing," Boba retorts cheekily. "Sure, and I'm not judging your burnt noodles," his eyes twinkling. Kim rolls her eyes, a faint smile playing on her lips in the dim light. She reaches out, plunging the apartment into darkness. Silence descends, heavy and expectant, filling Kim's apartment. A sudden, blinding flash of lightning pierces through the window. The room is momentarily illuminated, revealing shadows dancing across the walls. In Kim's apartment, Boba gently lays his tail over a button. "Kim dropped this morning," a silent promise hanging in the air. The button, small and insignificant, rests under Boba's protective tail, a symbol of care in the quiet room. Boba's eyes reflect a gentle understanding, his posture conveying a sense of reassurance and affection. The soft light in the apartment casts long shadows, accentuating the intimacy of the moment. A quiet statement of hope and affection fills the room. "Tomorrow will button up just fine." The dropped button, now watched over, gleams faintly under Boba's tail, a tiny beacon of future mending. Kim strides down the bustling street, her gaze sweeping across the towering buildings. Boba, perched on Kim's shoulder, observes the urban landscape with bright, curious eyes. A silent observer, Boba mirrors Kim's watchful demeanor, alert amidst the city's rhythm. The sun casts long shadows as Kim and Boba navigate the concrete jungle, their journey unfolding. Under the harsh fluorescent lights of the fast food restaurant, Kim struggles to manage the bustling counter. A small, energetic creature named Boba darts around Kim's legs, creating mischief. Boba snatches fries from a basket, causing a whirlwind of chaos and stolen delights. Boba dances joyfully with the stolen fries, a tiny gremlin reveling in the anarchy. Kim stands amidst a symphony of chirps and scurries, surrounded by a colorful menagerie in the bustling pet store. In a swift, unexpected act, Boba unleashes a torrent of freedom, opening cages and tanks with mischievous glee. A furry stampede erupts, creatures great and small flooding the aisles in a wave of chaotic liberation. Feathers flutter, scales shimmer, and paws pound as the pet store transforms into a vibrant, untamed jungle. Kim watches in stunned disbelief as hamsters, parrots, and kittens create a whirlwind of joyous pandemonium. The air crackles with the electric energy of newfound freedom as animals revel in their unexpected escape. Kim sits surrounded by stacks of books, her brow furrowed in concentration. Nearby, Boba disrupts the scholarly calm, his playful energy a stark contrast. Boba hurls books into the air, filling the library with echoes of monkey noises. Kim's focus shatters as Boba's antics escalate, frustration evident in her eyes. Under dappled sunlight, Kim and Boba sit defeated on a park bench, their slumped shoulders mirroring shared despair. Shadows play across the ground as Kim breaks the silence, her voice laced with frustration. "I'm never going to find a job with you around." Boba attempts levity, his tone light amidst the gloom. "Hey, I'm helping. I'm providing comedic relief." Kim stares blankly ahead, her expression unchanging despite Boba's attempts to inject humor into their dire situation. The leaves rustle overhead, a gentle counterpoint to the heavy atmosphere weighing down the two figures on the bench. Boba watches Kim closely, a flicker of concern momentarily eclipsing his usual comedic facade. Kim and Boba walk down a bustling street, the sounds of construction filling the air. Workers hammer and weld at a busy construction site. A sign boldly declares, "Help wanted." The sounds of construction echo loudly around Kim and Boba. In the bustling construction site, Kim strains, sweat glistening as she struggles with a heavy beam. Boba, eyes gleaming with mischief, casually snatches a wrench, a playful smirk dancing on his lips. He begins to juggle the wrench, his actions drawing annoyed glances from the weary workers. Boba mimics Kim's strained movements, exaggerating each lift with comical flair. A ripple of laughter spreads through the crew, momentarily easing the tension of the workday. Kim pauses, a flicker of amusement in her eyes as she watches Boba's antics. Kim sits at the front desk, striving for professional composure. Boba, a playful capuchin, perches mischievously on Kim's shoulder. The shrill ring of the phone shatters the office calm. Before Kim can react, Boba seizes the receiver, chattering wildly. Asterisk, ooh, ooh, ah, asterisk. Boba screeches into the phone as Kim cries, Boba, no! Give me the phone! Kim, a young art enthusiast, meticulously arranges brochures in the stark white gallery, her brow furrowed in concentration. Boba, radiating misplaced confidence, saunters into the gallery, his eyes filled with self-proclaimed artistic genius. He stops before a minimalist sculpture, his face contorting in disdain as he silently critiques the artwork. In a moment of misguided inspiration, Boba pulls a marker from his pocket, a mischievous glint in his eye. Kim and Boba stroll down a bustling street, their figures framed by the vibrant city backdrop. A colorful circus tent looms in the background, promising spectacle and adventure. A large sign boldly proclaims, Auditions today, beckoning passers-by with the allure of performance. Kim glances at the sign, a flicker of curiosity dancing in her eyes as she passes. Boba continues walking, seemingly unfazed by the circus's vibrant invitation, focused on their destination. Sunlight floods the circus tent, illuminating dust motes, as Kim, nervous but eager, enters the ring. Suddenly, Boba explodes into action, a whirlwind of acrobatic prowess. He cartwheels and leaps with effortless grace, his every move a display of natural talent. The circus air crackles with energy, as Boba captivates everyone with his breathtaking performance. In her apartment, Kim sits on the couch, her shoulders slumped with dejection. Boba approaches, a bright yellow banana held out in a hopeful gesture. The offering hangs in the air, a small attempt to pierce Kim's gloom. Kim stares blankly ahead, seemingly unmoved by Boba's efforts. A silent plea hangs in the air as Boba waits for a reaction. Sunlight warms Kim's small apartment as she sits dejected on the worn sofa, a picture of quiet despair. Boba offers a comforting touch, a silent promise of support in the face of Kim's visible sadness. Kim sighs, her voice heavy with resignation. I'm just not cut out for any of this. I'm unlucky. Boba's eyes sparkle with determination, her voice a bright contrast to Kim's despair. Hey, everyone has bad days. Boba's comforting smile fills the room as she reassures Kim. But you've got me now. Kim and Boba walk down a busy street, their steps in sync with the city's vibrant rhythm. In the distance, a dynamic movie set buzzes with activity, hinting at cinematic wonders. A sign boldly declares, Extras needed, grabbing their attention amidst the urban sprawl. The bustling street fades as they pause, drawn by the allure of the cinematic world. Kim nervously steps onto the bustling movie set, her prop sword trembling slightly in her grasp. Her eyes widen, a mix of excitement and apprehension as she tries to blend in with the other extras. A loud crash reverberates through the soundstage, shattering the controlled chaos. All heads turn to Boba, amidst a cascade of fake treasure chests after tripping over a cable. The director sighs, rubbing his temples as Kim winces, her background dreams fading fast. In a new take, Boba steals focus by juggling prop swords, overshadowing Kim's attempt to deliver her line. Kim battles the espresso machine behind the counter, steam erupting as she struggles with the portafilter. Boba, a showman at heart, expertly crafts latte art at the milk frothing station. He skillfully etches elaborate monkey faces in the velvety foam, a playful glint in his eye. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee fills the air, a stark contrast to Kim's mounting frustration. A silent competition unfolds. Skill versus struggle, artistry versus pure caffeine. Kim, dwarfed by her museum uniform, gestures vaguely at a dusty vase as she leads a small, unimpressed tour group. Unseen by all but Kim, Boba, a mischievous sprite, zips through the exhibits, causing subtle chaos. A stern Roman bust now sports a jaunty fez, a silent testament to Boba's playful antics. In a hilarious tableau, a towering dinosaur skeleton strikes a dramatic tango pose, utterly out of place. Kim and Boba relax on a sun-drenched park bench. The air vibrates with the joyous laughter of children. They watch the carefree children play, their faces lit by the golden sunlight. The park is alive with movement, a symphony of youthful energy. A gentle breeze rustles the leaves, carrying whispers of joy. Kim and Boba are quiet, observers in a vibrant tableau of life. In the park's quiet embrace, Kim sits dejected on a bench, her shoulders slumped with despair. Boba sits beside her, a comforting presence in the face of Kim's dark mood. Kim sighs, her voice heavy with defeat. Maybe I should just give up. Boba counters with warmth. Don't say that. You're smart, funny, and you make a mean burnt noodle. Kim and Boba walk down the bustling street, the city sounds swirling around them. They pass a talent agency, its windows gleaming, reflecting the day's bright light. A sign boldly proclaims, "Seeking unique talents." Kim pauses, a flicker of intrigue in their eyes as they glance at the sign. Boba smiles, a silent question hanging in the air as they look at Kim. Kim enters the talent agency, her eyes shining with hope as she navigates through the busy office. She approaches the front desk, ready to take the first step toward her dreams. Suddenly, Boba appears, darting forward with unexpected energy. He snatches the agent's pen, a mischievous glint in his eyes. Instead of signing forms, Boba begins scribbling autographs on anything within reach. Inside the bustling bakery, Kim carefully arranges pastries, a symphony of sweet aromas filling the air. A mischievous grin lights up Boba's face as he eyes the cakes, a playful idea sparking in his mind. With swift, playful movements, Boba begins adorning the cakes with strategically placed banana slices. The cakes transform into whimsical creations under Boba's touch, a blend of artistry and humor. Kim glances over, a mixture of surprise and amusement spreading across her face at Boba's antics. Kim arrives at the zoo, ready to tackle her shift. As Kim attempts to organize her workspace, Boba, a mischievous monkey, chatters with glee. The other monkeys perk up, responding to Boba's calls, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. A full-blown monkey riot erupts, a whirlwind of fur and playful rebellion. Monkeys swing from trees, their joyous screeches echoing through the zoo. Fruit flies through the air as the monkeys revel in their delightful chaos. Kim and Boba wander down a vibrant street, a river of faces flowing around them. Amidst the urban hustle, a fortune teller's stand emerges, a beacon of mystery. Above, a sign promises glimpses into the unknown. See your future. The invitation hangs in the air, a silent dare to confront destiny. Sunlight streams into the tent, illuminating dust motes as Kim sits, anticipation etched on her face. Across the table, the fortune teller's gaze is intense, her presence casting a mysterious aura. Tarot cards lie spread between them, each a symbol of fate and hidden possibilities. "I see a great change in your life," the fortune teller says, her voice resonating with otherworldly knowledge. A new path will open up. Kim and Boba walk along the street, their footsteps creating a steady rhythm against the backdrop of the city. The vibrant posters of smiling DJs fill the windows of the local radio station. A sign boldly declares, "Radio show host wanted," hinting at new opportunities. Sunlight glints off the windows, catching the eyes of passers-by. The city sounds blend together, creating the soundtrack of their walk. Kim and Boba continue their stroll, seemingly unfazed by the bustling surroundings. Kim stands, sheet music trembling in her grasp, ready to audition. A deep breath steals her nerves as she faces the microphone. Suddenly, Boba bursts in, disrupting the quiet tension. A grabs a microphone, chaos replacing Kim's hopeful calm. Loud monkey noises fill the studio, mocking Kim's dreams. Kim nervously adjusts her apron, a whirlwind of anxiety visible in her eyes as she stands behind the ice cream counter. She struggles to scoop ice cream, her hands trembling slightly as she tries to serve the waiting customer. Chaos erupts as Boba suddenly grabs a handful of ice cream, a mischievous glint in his eyes. A sticky projectile flies through the air, aimed directly at the unsuspecting customers. The ice cream splatters, a moment of sweet madness descending upon the once peaceful shop. Inside the Grand Theater, Kim, in her usher uniform, navigates through the crowd, a beacon of order amidst the eager patrons. Suddenly, a disruptive force. Boba bursts onto the stage, seizing it as his personal platform. With dramatic flair, Boba launches into exaggerated scenes, his arms flailing wildly, his voice booming through the theater. The theater transforms into Boba's stage, his every movement and word commanding attention, disrupting the calm. Kim and Boba walk down a bustling street, a sea of faces swirling around them in the bright daylight. They pass a detective agency, its entrance shadowed and mysterious amidst the lively thoroughfare. A sign gleams in the window, promising intrigue and adventure to those who dare to seek it. The sign reads, "Private Investigator Wanted." The words hang in the air, a silent invitation to step into a world of secrets and suspense. Sunlight paints the detective agency in hues of amber as Kim pores over files, magnifying glass glinting. Boba, the capuchin monkey, provides a lively contrast, chattering and swinging from a coat rack. Kim squints at a blurry photograph, lost in thought, muttering to herself. A sudden, unexpected move. Boba snatches the photo, a mischievous glint in his eyes. Boba scampers to the corkboard covered with crime scene photos, his tiny mission. With decisive intent, Boba points a tiny finger at a specific article, a silent clue. Inside the bustling flower shop, Kim meticulously arranges a bouquet, her brow furrowed in concentration. Boba, a fluffy dog, happily munches on a vibrant red rose at Kim's feet, petals scattered around him. The air is filled with the sweet fragrance of blossoms, a stark contrast to Boba's mischievous act. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating the colorful chaos of flowers and Boba's playful antics. Kim glances down, a mixture of exasperation and affection in her eyes as she watches Boba devour the rose. In the recording studio, Kim, poised at the microphone, closes her eyes and inhales deeply, ready to unleash her voice. Her song begins to fill the studio, a moment of pure, unadulterated expression. Suddenly, a cacophony of monkey sounds shatters the calm, an unexpected jungle chorus. Kim opens her eyes to find Boba at the control booth microphone, eyes gleaming, enthusiastically providing monkey sound effects. Kim and Boba walk down the sun-drenched street, their shadows stretching like secrets before them. They pass an old school, its worn brick facade whispering tales of bygone days. A crooked sign hangs in the window, almost pleading, "Substitute teacher needed." The afternoon sun casts long shadows, hinting at changes and new beginnings. Chaos erupts as Kim stands before a classroom in disarray, desks scattered, and paper airplanes soaring through the air. Kim attempts to assert control, but her voice is swallowed by the students' cacophony. Boba, a mischievous student, stands atop his desk, a glint in his eyes, ready to stir up more trouble. Boba begins mimicking monkey sounds and gestures, igniting laughter and further chaos among his classmates. The classroom transforms into a playful jungle as students join in, their own monkey imitations filling the room. Kim, clad in sportswear, begins to instruct, demonstrating the basics to her unenthusiastic class. Boba bursts into the gym, his energy boundless, ready to turn the fitness class upside down. Defying gravity, Boba swings from ropes, a whirlwind of acrobatic prowess. He flips off benches, turning the gym into his personal playground. Kim watches, her instruction completely ignored amidst Boba's exuberant display. Kim and Boba are walking down the street, the sun shining on their faces. They pass a bakery, the aroma of fresh bread filling the air. A sign is prominently displayed in the window. The sign reads, "Cake decorator wanted." Kim and Boba exchange a thoughtful glance. In the bustling bakery, Kim meticulously crafts floral designs on a cake, her focus absolute. A sudden commotion. Boba, the mischievous chimpanzee, leaps onto the counter, disrupting the calm. Boba snatches a handful of bananas, a glint of mischief in his bright eyes. Abandoning artistry for playful chaos, Boba begins sticking banana slices onto another cake. Crude monkey faces emerge from the sticky mess, a humorous contrast to Kim's delicate work. The bakery transforms into a playful battleground of flour, frosting, and banana. Inside her dimly lit apartment, Kim sinks into the couch, exhaustion etched deeply on her face. Boba, a beacon of playful energy, holds out a ripe banana, a hopeful offering of comfort. Kim stares blankly ahead, her weariness a palpable presence in the room. Boba gently nudges Kim with the banana, trying to coax a smile from her weary features. The soft glow of the lamp casts long shadows, amplifying the quiet intimacy of the moment. A silent plea hangs in the air, a shared moment of unspoken understanding between friends. Kim sits on a worn couch, her head buried in her hands, a picture of despair in the dim light of her apartment. Boba offers a comforting pat, a silent promise of support amidst Kim's crushing self-doubt. Kim's voice is thick with defeat. "I'm just not cut out for any of this. I'm never going to find a job." Boba counters with fierce encouragement. "Don't say that. You're amazing. We just need to find the right fit." Kim and Boba meander down the sunny sidewalk, their reflections shimmering in the storefront windows. They pause before a pet talent agency, its window a vibrant display of furry and feathered stars. A sign boldly proclaims, "Pet talent wanted," promising fame and fortune to the right animal. Kim exchanges an amused glance with Boba, a silent question hanging in the air about their own pets. The bustling street fades as they consider the possibilities, a spark of whimsical curiosity ignited. In a brightly lit talent agency, Kim and Boba sit opposite a sharply dressed agent, surrounded by posters of animal stars. Kim gestures proudly. "So, Boba here has a few unique talents," she says. The agent leans forward, intrigued. "What makes Boba special?" "Well, he can play dead, fetch slippers, and he does a pretty killer impression of a walrus," Kim explains. At Kim's nod, Boba unleashes convincing walrus barks and dramatically flops onto the floor, showcasing his talent. The agent exclaims, "Incredible, absolutely incredible. We need to sign him immediately." Mismatched lamps cast a warm glow over Kim's cozy apartment. The air smells faintly of burnt food and ripening bananas. Burnt noodles sit forlornly in bowls on the cluttered table, a testament to a celebratory dinner gone slightly awry. Kim raises her bowl in a toast, a hopeful smile on her face. To Boba, on landing the big client, Boba grins, accepting the toast with good humor. To burnt noodles, the food of champions. Laughter fills the small apartment, a comforting sound amidst the quirky charm of their shared space. Kim's apartment is filled with beaming pride, radiating outward. Kim's eyes sparkle, filled with genuine affection and support. "I'm so proud of you, Boba. You're a star," Kim exclaims, her voice full of warmth and admiration. Boba responds with determination, his own eyes reflecting mutual respect and camaraderie. "We're a team, Kim. We'll figure this out together," Boba declares, reinforcing their unbreakable bond. Kim and Boba stroll down the sun-drenched street, their figures outlined against the warm light. A gentle breeze whispers through the scene, playfully rustling their hair as they walk. Sunlight paints a golden glow on their faces, highlighting the easy camaraderie between them. They continue their walk, the rhythm of their steps a quiet counterpoint to the bustling street. Amidst the city's symphony, Kim and Boba stand on a busy street corner, a hopeful expectation shining in Kim's eyes. Kim's voice cuts through the urban noise. "Okay, Boba, what should we try next?" Boba's expression brightens with sudden inspiration, ready to change everything. "I have an idea! Let's start our own business!" Boba exclaims, his words full of dreams and ambition. The bustling street fades as the focus narrows on their shared vision, hope painted across their faces. On the street, Kim and Boba stand face to face, their eyes reflecting the vibrant energy of the city around them. A palpable sense of excitement hangs in the air between Kim and Boba, a shared anticipation of adventures yet to unfold. Their eyes sparkle with unspoken dreams, mirroring the bright lights and endless possibilities of the bustling street. Kim and Boba stand ready, the world before them shimmering with the promise of what lies ahead. Burnt noodles and overripe bananas form a chaotic still life around them, a testament to their late-night grind. Their eyes, reflecting the glow of a nearby lamp, are fixed on the business plan spread out before them. The messy table becomes a symbol of their dedication, a battlefield where dreams are forged in the dead of night. Determination etches itself onto their features, a silent promise whispered in the heart of their shared ambition.